Welcome to Omar's Story Nook, where history gets spicy, legends get a remix, and imagination runs wild. Every tale you hear is a whisper of Omar, echoing across time, culture, and the soul. 1492. They say Columbus sailed the ocean blue to find a shortcut to Asia. But what if that was never the whole truth? What if his voyage was fueled not just by ambition but by obsession with a story older than empire, a spring hidden beyond maps and monarchs, a fountain whispered about by mystics and mariners alike, said to stop time and reshape destiny? What if Columbus didn't just find a new world, but something the world was never meant to find? This is not the tale in textbooks. This is the voyage erased from record, a journey into the unknown, toward the fountain that defied time itself. Long before his ships ever touched water, Columbus was already chasing the impossible. In a monastery in Cordoba, beneath dust-laden scrolls and sealed stone, he found a manuscript unlike any he'd seen, its pages cracked with age, its text written in tongues long thought dead, Arabic, Greek, something older still. Its cover bore only one symbol, a serpent coiled around an hourglass. The manuscript spoke of a place west of the known world, a spring that flowed backward through time, guarded not by man but by something deeper, something that watched. Those who drank from it aged in reverse, but remembered every life they never lived, memories of children never born, wars never fought, kingdoms never founded. The monks called it heresy, but Columbus, he called it destiny. He copied the manuscript word for word, sketched a map from the scattered clues, then tucked it, water-stained and coded, into the spine of his navigation chart. Not even Queen Isabella knew. Only three men were told: a Moorish translator, exiled and bitter but brilliant, a Galician soldier who claimed he once saw angels in a storm, and a quiet scribe whose dreams were filled with alchemical symbols and melting clocks. They swore an oath. This voyage was no longer for gold or Asia. It was a search for the place where time could be rewritten, where mortality was negotiable, and a man could choose a new fate. They sailed, three ships, one true purpose. To the world, it was trade. But the night after they passed the Canary Islands, Columbus gave new orders. Southwest. The stars grew unfamiliar. The wind shifted unnaturally, and the ocean itself began to whisper. Compass needles spun like dances in a storm. One sailor swore the moon changed shape mid-voyage. Another woke nightly screaming, each time from the same dream, a mirror ocean that swallowed his reflection. Food spoiled quickly. Time felt slower. And still Columbus said little. Each night, it traced the same marks on his hidden map. The river that laughs at the moon. The island of winter orchids. A cove where your reflection looks older than you are. Then came the storm, lightning with no thunder, rain that rose from sea to sky. One ship was torn apart. The other two drifted in eerie calm until a mist rolled in, violet, glowing, unnaturally quiet. And there it was, an island not drawn on any chart, trees that shimmered like glass, water that glowed without light, shorelines humming with strange warmth, and the air tasted like memory. The younger sailors felt older. The older men remembered things they'd never lived. Columbus stood on that alien shore and whispered a single word: found. They ventured inward. Birds stared without blinking. Insects spun in spirals. The land pulsed with intention. Then they saw it, a tree taller than any cathedral. Its roots wrapped around a crystalline spring. Its bark was etched with the same runes from the manuscript. Its leaves shimmered like frozen dew. The water was clear but shimmered with blue fire beneath the surface. It didn't splash. It sang, low and haunting, Like a lullaby you'd forgotten you knew. The Galician soldier drank first. His crooked back straightened, grey faded from his beard. Tears rolled silently down his face. More followed. One man dropped to his knees, laughing as memories flooded him of a daughter he never had, of dying in a war that hadn't happened. Columbus drank last, and when the water touched his lips, he saw flashes. Himself as a boy in Genoa, as a broken old man surrounded by books he never wrote, as a ghost in a kingdom that never existed. The fountain didn't just restore the body, it offered glimpses of what could have been, of every choice unmade. It was not a gift, it was a reckoning. Columbus called it a mirror, one that showed everything and left you to live with it. Wonder gave way to greed. Men began hoarding water, drinking daily, claiming visions. One saw his dead wife weeping in the stream. Another swore he could speak to the stars. They fought over moss, believing it could halt death. One sailor stabbed another over a glowing stone. Columbus tried to impose order, but paradise does not tolerate conquest. The jungle shifted. Storms came from cloudless skies. Animals made of mist prowled the camps at night. Then a voice, not heard, but felt. Ancient, female, commanding, leave or be forgotten. Some fled, some fought shadows, others walked into the trees and never returned. Columbus buried the map beneath a serpent marked stone. No coordinates, no charts, only memory. He left alone, pushed a boat into the mist. Behind him, the island shimmered, pulsed, and vanished. The spring forgot them, but he remembered. Columbus returned, thinner, quieter, eyes distant. He told the court of riches and gold, but he never spoke of the spring. In his private journal, a page had been ripped out. The others dispersed, vanished. Some went mad, whispering of rivers that spoke in dreams and islands where time cried like a child. But legends don't die. They fade. They wait. Sailors still whisper of an isle in the violet mist, just south of all maps, where compasses fail and memories bloom like orchids. Locals tell stories of a jungle that sings and water that remembers. Some say the fountain still flows, that on rare nights, even the stars drift toward it to remember what was lost. Was it real? A delusion? A punishment? Or a mercy? One truth remains. The fountain of youth was never meant to be found, only remembered. And perhaps, if you ever find yourself at the end of the world and the moon reflects like a stranger, you hear the waves whisper his name, not as a conqueror, not as a hero, but as a man who touched eternity and let it go. Some stories are written in ink, others in water and time, until the next whisper of Oma. Stay listening. Christopher Columbus and the Fountain of Youth, the spring beyond time.